go to www.shareonline.co.za or WhatsApp us on 061 524 7755.
Hey, my friends, this is your boy Creative Scotty, your favorite TikToker. Please catch Share Online Monday to Friday weekdays on all social media platforms.
Bengeza kwaye phuhlisa ishishini lakho nathi apha eShare Online. Sebenzisa ezinkcukacha zilandelayo ukusifumana 078 281 0681 okanye usithumelele email ku ads@shareonline.co.za.
Depression and suicide are serious issues that affect many people. If you're feeling alone or hopeless, know that you are not alone. There are people who care about you and want to help. If you're struggling with depression or suicidal thoughts, there are resources available to help you. The South African Depression and Anxiety Group offers a 24-hour toll-free emergency helpline for suicide crisis support. Call them on 0800 567 567. Remember, you're not alone. There is hope and help is available.
You know you want to join the Creative Corner every Tuesday, where we vibe with the coolest creators.
But nah, you are too busy catching up on Umkosi, celebrity news and the headliners on the Trusted Talk Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
Embrace your feminine side with the ladies of sisterhood Thursdays at 11 a.m. talking about everything women go through.
Join Amachita, Amahrotmane, the broskies of Sotra, fixing the country, one topic at a time. Thursdays at 2 p.m.
Get ready to spice up your sex life on the 8th hour every Thursday at 8 p.m. where we get down and dirty with the hottest topics. It's all things sex.
Start the weekend early with the feel-good vibes of Kasi Lifestyle Show Fridays at 2 p.m. Put on your dancing shoes, feel the music and connect with the best artist Mzansi has to offer.
And if you're still not satisfied, you can learn a thing or two about living wild, young and free with Ama 2K Saturdays at 11 a.m.
And for all you bookworms, relax your Saturday with On Writing at 2 p.m. where you can learn from the best writers and storytellers.
All this and more on Share Radio, the place to be.
Stay informed with the latest news on Mzansi affairs every Tuesday at Share Radio, brought to you by Share Online. This is the time. 1 minute past 11 is the time right now, and you are watching Mzansi Affairs with me, Mweketi Maimane, and I am not alone. I'm joined by Mr. Itu, in which I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Good morning, South Africa. Good morning, Share Online family. Welcome back to yet another interesting episode of Mzansi Affairs, your favorite news show. I go by the name Itu Minengdiale, and I'm pleased to be here with you today.
Definitely, man. I'm pleased to be here with us. And if you just joined us on our social media platforms, we are Share Online. We are right now live on YouTube and Facebook. So do make sure that you leave down your comment and share the live to those who it might matter to. So we are going to be discussing some of the few headlines with you, and we wish you guys to engage with us on our social media platforms. If you want to call us in right now on the studio or leave down your voice note on our WhatsApp, you can simply dial 061 524 7758. That's 061 524 7758. Before we get deep into our headlines, I just want to ask you, is there anything that you have come across on the internet or maybe on your way to work that was unusual, and it's something that needs to be addressed, especially in society?
Yeah, I'm still on the case of food poisoning, Mr. Mo. Yesterday I've discovered that one more kid died, and this morning I've realized that it's two, in fact, from Diepkloof. So I'm just glad that we're also going to be discussing some of that on the show today, and it is something that really needs our attention.
Yeah, definitely. It is something that a lot of people, especially citizens of South Africa and community members, where they're experiencing this spaza shop saga, they can come and join us and discuss so that we can get the message more further, that than they can expect. So on our headlines today, we're going to be looking at illegal mining, food and water supplied for the Stilfontein zamas. Last week we were discussing, them resurfacing.
Yes.
from being underground for some certain time after a court order was issued from the High Court, that, please unblock so that these guys can come out. I believe right now, they are running out of, energy. They're fatigued. They see Gucci, this thing is becoming, a lot more heavy on them. So they need to come out. It's something that we are going to be looking at. And we also want to hear from you at home, whoever is watching right now, on what do you think about the situation of the illegal zamas? Do you think, the police should take this approach of government by unblocking, the shaft right there in Stilfontein. And then maybe the police should have taken their approach by actually, blocking the shaft, and the miners could die down there. But it's something that we want to hear from you, and it's something that we're going to be discussing. And then speaking of the spaza shop, 2 more children died in Joburg. I think this incident took place in Diepkloof, whereby 2 more children died. So it's something that we are going to be looking at, as the residents are very angry after what happened, as we have been discussing this issue for several weeks, and now it's been months since these cases are being raised, and for people out there to notice what is happening so that they can become more careful. The last one we're going to be discussing is the festive season. The locals are urged, to take short left this year. Locals are urged to shop locally and travel locally, instead of traveling outside of the country, because as we know that I think around in 2013, not 2013, it was around 2023, so the domestic tourism, it was said about its, they generated 121 billion in 2023 with domestic traveling. So a lot of people are urged, to travel locally and shop locally. Do you think it is something that is very important for people to do? Or what's your take? Do you prefer traveling locally or internationally?
So personally, I'd prefer to travel locally first before I can go abroad, because remember, when you travel locally, you stimulate the local economy of the country. So before we go and support other countries out there, it's best to support our own country, so that traveling locally serves as a catalyst in the economy. It stimulates it to grow, to be more active. So it is important to encourage local traveling, but not that we discourage that you call global or international traveling, but at least let's not neglect our local tourism industry. So
definitely, it's something that we're going to be looking at when we close the show, and we would also like to hear from you. Wherever you are at home, which place or which country would you love to travel to? And the question is domestic traveling important more than international traveling, in which domestic brings more money into the country where you are at? You're still watching Mzansi Affairs, and my name is Moeketsi Maimane, and I'm here joined by Mr. Itumeleng Diale right here in studio. Please do make sure that you engage with us on our social media platforms. We are shared online on each and every social media platforms. Right now we are live on YouTube, Facebook, and also TikTok. Leave down your comment and share the live to those that might matter to them. So right now we're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back. We're going to discuss our first headline of the day, and we hope that you guys are going to engage with us on our social media platforms. Right now, let us take a short break, and then when we come back, we are going to discuss more.
You want to join the Creative Corner every Tuesday, where we vibe with the coolest creators.
But nah, you are too busy catching up on Umkosi, celebrity news, and the headliners on the Trusted Talk Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
Embrace your feminine side with the ladies of Sisterhood Thursdays at 11 a.m. talking about everything women go through.
Join Amachita, Amahrotmane, The broskies of Sotra, fixing the country, one topic at a time. Thursdays at 2 p.m.
Get ready to spice up your sex life on the 8th hour every Thursday at 8 p.m., where we get down and dirty with the hottest topics. It's all things sex.
Start the weekend early with the feel-good vibes of Kasi Lifestyle Show Fridays at 2 p.m. Put on your dancing shoes, feel the music, and connect with the best artist Mzansi has to offer.
And if you're still not satisfied, you can learn a thing or two about living wild, young, and free with Ama2K Saturdays at 11 a.m.
And for all you bookworms, relax your Saturday with On Writing at 2 p.m., where you can learn from the best writers and storytellers.
All this and more on Share Radio, the place to be.
You're listening to Share Radio, the best online visual radio station in town. Tune in now and enjoy the best music from around the block. This is Share Radio.
Yo, what's good? Y'all listening to Share Radio, where we give you nice shows with a little bit of core in it, and where we promote upcoming artists, music, and more. If you want to share the experience with us or want us to promote your music, go to www.shareonline.co.za or WhatsApp us on 061 524 7758.
Bengeza kwaye phuhlisa ishishini lakho nathi apha eShare Online. Sebenzisa ezinkcukacha zilandelayo ukusifumana. 078 281 0681 okanye usithumelele email ku ads@shareonline.co.za.
Depression and suicide are serious issues that affect many people. If you're feeling alone or hopeless, know that you are not alone. There are people who care about you and want to help. If you're struggling with depression or suicidal thoughts, there are resources available to help you. The South African Depression and Anxiety Group offers a 24-hour toll-free emergency helpline for suicide crisis support. Call them on 0800 567 567. Remember, you're not alone. There is hope and help is available.
Stay informed with the latest news on Mzansi affairs every Tuesday at Share Radio, brought to you by Share Online. This is the time.
Food, water, and batteries are just some of the items sent to illegal miners who remain underground at an abandoned mine shaft in Stilfontein. The mining affected Communities United in Action organization has been granted an interim court order allowing it to send food and other emergency relief underground. 21 more illegal miners surfaced through the Margaret and number 10 shaft on Monday. One of them had to be taken to a local hospital due to hydration. More police have been deployed at various shafts in Stilfontein to look out for any other zama who resurface. The Northwest Community Safety Department say it intends to challenge the interim court order allowing food and water to be sent to the miners underground. More illegal miners are expected to surface in the coming days. So I just want to hear your thoughts, and your view when it comes to this one,
Yeah, so I'm with the committee members that challenge this interim court order, because now if we keep on supplying them with food and water, we are delaying the process, and this thing is going to drag on much longer than expected. So it is a must that we have to try by all means to get these people to come out, and that is in doing so we have to not how can I put this? Not answer their calls to get resources.
Yeah.
Because remember, the more we supply them, the more they get to stay. And it's like now they have all the cards. So we have to take away such privileges, because now we're no longer dealing with hostages or people who are trapped there accidentally.
Yeah.
But it's just people who choose to stay because now they wanna escape the justice.
Yeah.
So it's high time that we do stand together and challenge this court interim. And this court, I don't know, man. Wow, how the court is ordering us to supply these people with food and water. Because if ever they do need to survive, they do need to eat, and they've realized that they don't have water and food underground.
Yeah.
Then the simple solution is for them to come out. Simple.
Yeah, I think the court actually, they're following the rules, of the human rights. That if humans need to be brought forward, you need to give them, the necessity and the care that they all need, so that they can be in the right state, so that they can come and face whatever that is being given to them.
Yes, Mr. Mo. But then if we want them to be on the right state, the first step is for them to come out. That is the first step. Because you cannot be in the right state if you stay trapped underground. And now you expect for us to care for you and to consider your human rights, but you're not giving us enough opportunities for us to do that. Because if ever their well-being was the number one reason for the court to care for them, it would have been simple that, okay, try and get them out. And what can we do to get these miners out is to block the resources, so that if we keep giving them the resources while they're down there, then they have no reason to come out. So now if they really do need resources, we have resources outside. Come outside and then you'll be taken care of.
I mean, I think the method that they are using, it's a method that, has been used over time, when dealing with a high crime situation that involve hostage, because you would have hostages, people who have held people hostage, demanding that, they need food, and people who are inside right here who have been held hostage, they also need food. So you guys need to provide food for them. Even in prison, it's not like whenever you're in prison, you don't eat, until you die. So I think it's one of the methods that they use, so that it will not be something that is being pinpointed to them if we have maybe 3,000 people who have died underground, while they had, while
they could do something
about it.
But you see how these miners have manipulated the situation.
Exactly.
They went from illegal miners escaping justice to illegal miners being held hostage underground. So it's questionable, and now they I think they were able to determine, or let me say, identify the weak states, the weak points of the government, that if we stay there and we cry out human rights, then these guys will heed to the call, and then they will give us our supplies.
Definitely. And then the article right here, it says the trapped miners at Stilfontein are now able to receive immediate food, water and medication from community and charitable organizations. Following an urgent application to the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria on Sunday, this decision comes amid grave concerns for the miners' survival, with reports of fatalities underground and those still alive, struggling to survive on minimal resources. The community-based organization Mining Affected Community in Action sought an urgent court order to compel the government to provide humanitarian aid to the miners. Judge Nicoline van Nieuwhuizen granted an interim order allowing for immediate provision of aid, which will remain in effect until a full court hearing on Thursday. This latest application follows a previous one by the Society for the Protection of Our Constitution, which was dismissed by Judge Brenda. The court had accepted government assurances that the miners were not trapped and could exit through the Margaret shaft with a rescue operation underway. It comes back that the situation, if it is looked upon, these miners, they want to be held in a position that, okay, the reason we are underground is because we are held hostage down there. But there has been reports, as we have heard, that there were 2 guys, 11 who resurfaced in shaft 11, if I'm not mistaken.
Last week,
yes. So it's something that, even if we looking at the humanitarian aid that takes care of them, that will use this method to make them resurface from underground. But now we are seeing that this is just whole of the plan that they are using, to use the government and to use the state, to feel like they are held accountable wherever they are. you know. So that's why we have so many angles to look at the situation. So yeah, that's where it is.
So now the miners are playing the victim card now.
Yeah.
That we are victims now. So they need help from us.
Yep.
But what kind of help? Give us food. If you really need help, you must come out. And if you are held hostage, then it must be clear that they are held hostage, and then maybe the government can deploy officers down there to defuse the situation. But now we don't know what the case is, and we don't know who's a victim and who's not. So it might be a bit risky if we were to send our own officers down there, because when they get there, they are going in blind. They don't have any information or a brief on the situation. Because right now, I think they're operating on hearsays and stipulations. So until we get all the facts, I think maybe then they can act.
Yeah.
But you know, there's this thing, man, Mr. Mo, whereby if I ask you a question and then the first answer that you give out is the truth.
Yeah.
And if ever you come back later and said, no, this is what I meant, whatever that comes after the first answer is a lie. So when we were presented with the situation, the first response was that they've heard that there's police up on the surface and they will not resurface because they don't want to get caught.
Yeah.
So as the time went by and now the story is changing, hey, we are held hostage, hey, we are victims, hey, we are out of water, give us water. And you know, there's officials in the court, in the government court, who are being strung along by these guys, and now they keep on making interim court orders, ordering organizations to offer supplies. If these people really were in need of the supplies and they really did care for their lives, they would come out and face. I mean, they're adults.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, we may have minors down there, like minors, you know, minor.
Yeah.
You know? But besides those, a majority of them are adults and they know what they got themselves into, and they should come up and take responsibility for their actions. They must account.
Yeah.
And in doing so, it's arrest.
Yeah.
Maybe we can negotiate going further. We can discuss if whether they were victims, they were hostages, or they went there willingly in court.
Yeah.
Now this is like it's an active. I don't know if it's an investigation or whatnot, but right now we cannot be making decisions on who's a victim, who's guilty, and who's not until we get to the court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True, because I believe we need to also make, you know, look at it at a common sense, you know, angle in terms of if, you know, these people are really trapped down there and they are held against their own will. But now when these guys, they resurface, you know, you hear some of them, they speak fluent Sesotho language, you know, because I don't believe, you know, people who are actually, you know, what do you call, kidnapping you or holding you against your own will can teach you their language so that you can understand.
No, they're from the same tribe.
You know, so it is something that police should be looking out for. And, you know, when we get more reports and more interviews, when these guys resurface, we see some of the signs. You know, some of them you can see that they have been here for such a long time, you know, so they have taken this opportunity and they have used it, you know, to go down there. But now things are going south.
And then tell me, if we are held hostage underground with maybe 11 gunmen who are armed and holding us against our will, how is it possible that 28 miners are able to resurface when they claim that they were held against their will?
Yeah.
So those are also some of the things they have to look at. And then the main shaft that's been blocked, right? That's been raided by the police, has police deployed outside, but then the miners can still use other shafts to resurface. So if they are really held against their will, can't they, like, as much as the 28 were able to resurface? What about the others?
Yeah.
Why can't they make means and resurface as well?
True. And also, going back to the article, they say the application supported by lawyers for human rights included affidavits from miners who have surfaced, revealing that at least 4 bodies were found underground. The Makwa is also calling for the court to declare the police actions using starvation and dehydration as a tool against criminality as unconstitutional and to allow community rescue efforts to resume. Muni highlighted that the humanitarian crisis affected hundreds to thousands of miners trapped underground for nearly 3 months due to Operation Vala Umgodi. He emphasized that the applicants are not opposed to the operation itself, but rather to its execution. Despite promises of rescue services, no miners have been rescued thus far, and concerns remain about the timeline for these operations. Conditions in nearly 2 kilometers deep mine are dire, with narrow tunnels, extreme heat, and limited visibility. Miners are reportedly 20 kilometers away from the Margaret shaft, and many have turned back due to hazardous conditions, including a large pool of water that poses unknown risks. So as this operation has started right now, we are seeing that a lot of risks are starting to rise now, because remember that everything that they use, that they go with underground, it needs to be maintained. The batteries of the torches that they need, the petrol for the machines, the dynamite that they use to, the explosives, so we are seeing such things, decapicating, and now this mission has been called that, okay, guys, resurface. But now some of the things that, are still being used, inside or underground there, it's something that they're still using. But now the problem is, as much as the police can't go underground, they are still going to continue until they find a way out. And we know that the way out will not only include, what they give to the people who are vulnerable, especially the police, but now is who do they talk to? So we know that as much as these cases are being delayed so much, a plan is being made.
It is being
from the background and from the behind the scene. So I think this whole situation is just going to grow into something that we have never expected.
Yeah. Speaking of plans, Mr. Mo, in the background, I feel like also they're experiencing a bit of conflict of interest, because now it's like the court is protecting these miners, where else the police are trying to bring these miners to justice. So if maybe the court and the police can work together and find a solution that's best gonna benefit, if like maybe they say they can come up with a solution that has that is gonna better, or that is gonna provide the results that are of interest to both parties. So as long as the court is still making court orders to say give them the water, and now it's charging them, or it's telling them that what they're doing, the strategies of starvation and hunger is not constitutional. But like when did it change from chasing criminals to having to rescue criminals? So we like, I feel like the commanding officer should not be manipulated by these parties at play here, and he must keep focused and ensure that he delivers on his mandate, and that is to capture all these illegal miners down there.
With the developments coming up from the Stilfontein, zamas issue and the Stilfontein zamas headlines, we actually promised that we're going to be coming up with more if the story develops and give it to you at home. If you have anything that you want to share, we are share online on social media platforms. Do make sure that you engage with us. If you want to call us in right now, and discuss some of these issues regarding the Stilfontein minors, the Stilfontein zamas. You can dial us at 061 524 7758. That's 061 524 7758. We're going to take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to move to our second headline of the day, in which includes the angered communities, the angered community of Diepkloof, as 2 more children die because of the products that they have consumed from the spaza shops. Right now, let us take a short break, and then when we come back, we are going to discuss more of our headlines.
You're listening to Share Radio, the best online visual radio station in town. Tune in now and enjoy the best music from around the block. This is Share Radio.
Yo, what's good? Y'all listening to Share Radio, where we give you nice shows with a little bit of go in it, and where we promote upcoming artists, music, and more. If you want to share the experience with us or want us to promote your music, go to www.shareonline.co.za or WhatsApp us on 061 524
Hey, my friends, this is your boy Creative Scotty, your favorite TikToker. Please catch Share Online Monday to Friday weekdays on all social media platforms.
Bengeza kwaye phuhlisa ishishini lakho nathi apha eShare Online. Sebenzisa ezinkcukacha zilandelayo ukusifumana: 078 281 0681 okanye usithumelele email ku ads@shareonline.co.za.
Depression and suicide are serious issues that affect many people. If you're feeling alone or hopeless, know that you are not alone. There are people who care about you and want to help. If you're struggling with depression or suicidal thoughts, there are resources available to help you. The South African Depression and Anxiety Group offers a 24-hour toll-free emergency helpline for suicide crisis support. Call them on 0800 567 567. Remember, you're not alone. There is hope, and help is available.
You know you want to join the Creative Corner every Tuesday, where we vibe with the coolest creators.
But nah, you are too busy catching up on Umkosi, celebrity news, and the headliners on the Trusted Talk Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
Embrace your feminine side with the ladies of Sisterhood, Thursdays at 11 a.m., talking about everything women go through.
Join Amachita, Amahrotmane, the broskies of Sotra, fixing the country, one topic at a time, Thursdays at 2 p.m.
Get ready to spice up your sex life on the 8th hour every Thursday at 8 p.m., where we get down and dirty with the hottest topics. It's all things sex.
Start the weekend early with the feel-good vibes of Kasi Lifestyle Show Fridays at 2 p.m. Put on your dancing shoes, feel the music, and connect with the best artist Mzansi has to offer.
And if you're still not satisfied, you can learn a thing or two about living wild, young, and free with Ama 2K Saturdays at 11 a.m.
And for all you bookworms, relax your Saturday with On Writing at 2 p.m., where you can learn from the best writers and storytellers.
All this and more on Share Radio, the place to be.
Stay informed with the latest news on Mzansi affairs every Tuesday at Share Radio, brought to you by Share Online. This is the time.
28 minutes till we hit the 12 o'clock on the dot, and you're still watching Mzansi Affairs with me, Mweketi Maimane, and the one and only Mr. Itumeleng Diale right here in studio. Please do make sure that you follow us on every social media platform. We are Share Online on each and every social media platform. You can engage with us right now. We are live on YouTube, TikTok, and also Facebook. If you're live, if you're joining the live on each and every if you're joining the live on those platforms, do make sure that you share the live to the ones that it will matter to. So moving on our headline, we have the food safety issue, in which it's something that we have been discussing, from the past weeks, looking at the cases that have been coming up, from month to month. We have, last year we lost 2, and then we came and we lost 6, and then we had another one that, there were children in pupils, from a school who ate snacks, so as much as, it has been raised, that there should be strict rules, of spaza shops, things like the manufacturers, things like the licenses that they need to prove that they do qualify, to sell food and products, to the community members. Do you think that those things are really going to help, in preventing people from getting sick and people from dying?
Mr. Mo, so, the president has spoken and he has devised a plan to come up with a solution to this thing. Ne? But so far, we still have cases to date. Kids are still dying. And, I've seen a couple of community leaders who took the matter into their own hands, and they were assisting the police and the investigating officials to attend, to go to these foreign-owned spaza shops and also investigate the how can I put this? Should I say is it the quality of the products that are being sold? And a lot of these products have found to be expired, somewhere repackaged as good to be served. But when you take off the first cover, the top cover of the package, you realize that the original one is expired. So people are doing the best that they can to ensure that these killings come to an end. But as long as we still have these shops operating, I don't know how many people we can deploy, Mr. Mo, to check the compliance and to check the quality of the products. But where I'm from, we have a lot of foreign-owned shops that are still operating, and people are still buying from there. So for them to be protected, we have to have a national shutdown and ensure that all these shops are closed. But besides that, this is not going to end. It's going to keep on going. I don't know until when. Yeah.
True. I also have a comment on TikTok from Nolu saying how many people should die before the government does something. It's something that a lot of concerned citizens and community members that have raised for quite some time, that the government is seeing what is happening, but they're not doing anything. But we see that there's something that's being done by
the residents.
Yes, with also the re-registering of the shops, so that the people who own local spaza shops, they can come back and re-register, so that the database can be something that is worked upon. And also a comment from Refugee Rasekhanzo on YouTube saying, hey guys, thank you for keeping us informed. Thank you so much for staying with us. Do make sure that you actually press the subscription button and notification button, so that whenever we have something for you, you will be notified. So tension are escalating in Diepkloof as angry residents once again threaten to shut down a foreign-owned spaza shop. It follows the death of another child after eating suspected contaminated snacks. Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of the 9-year-old. In another incident, a grade 4 pupil died after eating biscuit bought from Riverlea spaza shop. Gauteng Education says the child was declared dead while being treated at home. Near on 30 children have lost their lives in recent food poisoning incident linked to spaza shop. I think it's something that is very, very important when we have to highlight it to people that, children are really losing their lives. And yes, the government can do something, but now when the community comes and say, we are calling out for these spaza shops to be closed, I think that is a solution that is near on, preventing one child from going there.
True.
Because we can't say go and re-register while the shop is still running, while people are consuming, and a full inspection has not been done.
True.
True.
So we have a problem, Mr. Mo. We have because now we have a case whereby some of our residents are protecting these foreign-owned shops, and then some of the residents are registering on behalf of these foreigners. Because when our president called these foreign owners to go and re-register. He knew that some of them would not be able to register because they don't have the documentation that is required to register.
Yeah.
So now, because those foreign owners have realized that, they have asked some of our members to go and register on their behalf.
Yeah.
And if you are following this whole case, there were videos circulating on social media whereby outraged community residents were going against this one suspect who is there to register on behalf of these Somalians and Pakistanis.
Yeah, yeah.
And so they come up as if like it is their shops, but they're doing it on behalf of these foreigners, and they're getting a payment of 3,000 for that. So you'd rather have these people who are poisoning our community members to continue running their shops just for 3,000 rands. Like it's crazy. We have a serious problem, man. I think also before we can maybe make a move on these people, we have to talk to each other so that we can all be on the same page.
Yeah.
Because I cannot say one and then someone else is saying 10.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work. Because we're gonna close them today, tomorrow they're gonna open.
True. Call for action after 2 children die from snacks brought from spaza shop. And the city of Joburg is consulting health authorities in a bid to monitor and prevent unsafe food from entering communities following the death of 2 children who died due to consuming poisonous and contaminated snacks from a local spaza shop. This latest incident, allegedly at the hands of a foreign spaza shop owner, has sparked the tension between locals and spaza shop owners, most of them foreign nationals. It is reported that on Sunday, a group of children between 4 and 6 purchased biscuits from foreign-owned spaza shop, and before long started vomiting. The children were rushed to the nearby clinic, but 2 of them died. 2 others were said to be recovering in hospital. On Wednesday, the speaker who visited families of the 4 children said something needed to be done to ensure that the children and members of the community are protected from dangerous foods. I mean, looking at this thing, I believe that we don't have to look only at re-registering. But when we see the community approach at closing down the shops, like it's something that we are getting closer to preventing, because the problem is on the food, not on the papers, because the papers, it's a process, that is needed to be done. Because when you see, the re-registering process, it's a long overdue process, so these are some of the things that we need to look at. So let's say if someone is re-registering, let the shop close down, especially for the foreign nationals. Let us not involve our people who we know that they are citizens. They might be part of this, but we have seen that full inspections have been done
on them.
Yes. We had this lady that we were reading, an article from that she said, they came and inspected the shop. They found that some of, her products were about to expire. And then when they were done closing down the shop, they went to the foreign national shop. They didn't even go in there because they say they don't have the legal permission to go in and raid and actually inspect
because they are ghosts.
So it's something that we are literally looking at right now. But I don't know, what is your view around the measures that can be done?
I agree with you, Mr. Mo. Because these foreign-owned shops are not compliant, they should not be operating. So in their process of registering, they should close down. And then when they come to open shop, they should say, we open up now because we are now compliant and we are now legal to operate.
Yeah.
So as for now, they cannot say we are going to register, so they cannot. No, the shops must close down.
Yeah.
And now also, if for community members, when I think here in Thompsonville last week, some of the shops were closed. The community members took it upon themselves to ensure that they get closed down and then they don't operate. But give it a few days later, they open again. So it's like we have to have a committee that is going to patrol our neighborhoods, ensuring that all the closed down spaza shops are closed.
Yeah.
And if you find that you are open, you have to present us with the documentation that permits you to operate in the community.
Yeah.
And if not, we close you again. And then if they keep on opening, a case must be opened against them. It should be deemed as unlawful to operate where else you are not permitted to do so. So that's what we must do. Those are the extra measures we can take while we're waiting on the government to finalize this whole process of registering, right? So last time I checked, he gave them 21 days to register and whatnot. So I've lost count on that. I don't know how many days we have left, and then I don't know what the plan is after the 21 days have passed. So do you have any idea on that?
So based on the report, we have seen a video that was circulating, on the internet that it is going to be extended because there were communities who went at the offices to block the foreign nationals from re-registering. So it's something that is being looked upon, and they are still trying to find some way if they can do it online or they should come in person to actually do it. But it is very important for them to come in person so that they can recognize and know everything about them.
But now it looks like the government is ignoring the calls of the residents. Because if the residents took it upon themselves to go and block the re-registration, that itself says something. It means the residents don't want these guys to operate in their communities anymore. So why is the government so persistent in ensuring that these guys re-register and keep on operating in the communities, whereas the residents of the communities don't want them back?
True. So when the article continues, they saying we are seeking answers from the health authorities in order to give us answers and help unravel deeper issues of monitoring food that is sold and consumed by our communities and townships. One of the things that we need to strengthen as a city is that we should not be having children who have to buy food that is expired. It is disturbing, and I understand that the community is angry, as they should be. There has been an outcry about foreign nationals. However, I do not want this to be an issue between foreign nationals and South Africans because we do not know what is the status of the people who were selling food, as the investigation is still unfolding. That is Colleen Makubele. While the speaker was visiting families, the situation remained tense in Naledi, with members of the Operation Dudula leading operation aimed at shutting down stalls and shops belonging to foreign nationals. They staged a march to Naledi police station in a bid to get the police to accompany them to one of the foreign-owned spaza shops. Along the way, Operation Dudula and some members of the community confronted the hawkers plying their trade, next to the police station, and told them to shut down their stalls or face eviction. One of the affected hawkers is Anna Setole, who specializes in hairdressing just next to Naledi police station, who was forced to close down her stall midway through a session with a client. Speaking to the media, Setole said that in the 2 years that she has been operating in the area, this was the first time she had an encounter with angry community members threatening with the closure of her business. I have been told to shut down my business because I am a foreigner. I was in the middle of a session with my client when members of Operation Tutula told me to close down because I am a foreigner. I am now forced to finish the client at home as I fear that they will burn down my stall. Leader of the Operation Dudula, Zandile Tabula, said they will continue to intensify the closure of spaza shops operated by foreign nationals in Naledi and other parts of Soweto. So we are seeing angry communities now reacting to the situation because we listened to the president, we listened to premiers, when they came with statements that involved a solution on how we are going to be working around this situation. But now, after you guys have deployed inspectors, we are still seeing the same situation.
Yes.
So we can't say the angry communities are wrong for shutting down because they see that even inspectors are not doing the job that they're supposed to be doing.
Yes. So on the side of the government, it's like they don't feel the sense of agency in this matter, because they were supposed to come out or maybe on national TV and come out and brief the nation with a statement that says, look, we as South Africa, we have to close these spaza shops down, because now these foreign owners are being arrogant, man. You should see them, how they talk to our community members in the community. Like they demanding, some of them are demanding things that they are not entitled to, because if you're a foreigner, you cannot make demands and you cannot be walking arrogant and not adhering to our policies here in the country. So as long as the government is still protecting these people and is still giving them a chance and a leeway for them to do things legally, they feel that they are protected and there's nothing we can do about it. So the government must come out and stick with the people of the country and stop protecting. Let's not be diplomatic, because now it's like they're afraid of being called xenophobic. But isn't it xenophobic when people from other lands attack our people specifically? I've never heard of a Nigerian kid or Somalian kid or a foreign kid dying from these things. It's only our people. But then it's not xenophobia. But now when we stand up for ourselves and retaliate, it's gonna be xenophobia. So instead of us retaliate and return bad with bad, the best thing to do is to close shop and for them to go back home before people get hurt. Because you see now the way things are, it's escalating to a very, very bad case now. And if the government cannot afford, because now I think they're trying to to calm this situation down. But now you cannot calm this down. People are dying, people are angry. And now if they don't intervene, if they can get a message out to these foreign owners to say, look, close down the shops and go back home until this whole thing is sorted, then maybe there may be a way moving forward. But as long as the government is protecting these people and the community members are saying one thing, then it's going to be a problem. In fact, we already have a problem, Mr. Mo.
True.
So it's going to be, we're gonna have another 2010. In 2024, it's going to be 2010. We're going to have xenophobia. And I think this time it's going to be at a mass scale. So for that to not happen, the government must issue out a statement so to inform the foreigners that the shops must be closed. I think it's best if they close them themselves before the committee members come and close. Because when it's like that, things get out of control.
True. Looking at the comment from YouTube from Mpomo, you're saying hashtag they must go. And it's something, that we can't be blaming, community members when they're taking these action into their own hands, because we really relied on the government and we really relied on the police to make sure that this incident doesn't take place anymore. We are not actually promoting and saying, people should go out there, close the shop and burn down the shops. It's fine. Shops can be closed because, for someone who doesn't understand what does it feel like to lose, a child, they would feel like these people are being attacked, until it happens into your own house, where you lose a child, where you lose a sibling or a parent due to this situation, so it is something that when we, looking upon it, it is something that, we feel like the government is really trying to, not trying, but is failing people. Because every time, each and every week, we can't be coming and speaking about the same thing. And then the next month, we hear the same headline. We are covering these headlines so that, these things can be heard outside, and everywhere. So that we see that, a lot of people are being concerned and they're saddened about what is happening. And continuing about the words of Zandile Dabulas, she said, we are very saddened by what has happened and we feel the pain of the families who have lost their children due to dangerous and poisonous food from spaza shops operating operated by the people we call my friend.
My friend.
You know, they are responsible for what has happened, which is why we have launched an operation targeted at shutting down their shops. According to the Gauteng MEC for Education, Matome Chilwane, the incident on Sunday affected learners from 2 Soweto schools. The MEC pleaded with parents and community members to safeguard children from consuming, untested food products. I think this also, when you look at where the situation is happening, in terms of the young kids, I don't think we expect kids to be, more aware of the things that they consume because they're kids. They don't know, what is this product, it's having inside.
Yes.
What is it made of, so that they know that, okay, this one, it has this expiry date, I should not eat this.
They don't check out for those.
As
long as they've purchased, got their product, they open and they eat.
Yes.
So there's this lady who's leading these initiatives of closing down these foreign-owned shops. And unfortunately, I didn't get her name.
Yeah.
But she's a lady. Yeah, and I take my head off for it. So I like the way in which she leads these operations, whereby things are not being done like in a haste manner. It's civil. They come to you, they talk to you, they ask you, look, we are here to close down the shop. And this is not up for discussion, no debate. No one is fighting anybody.
Yeah.
Just take your belongings, take your money, take your everything. They even give you a chance to get a transport to come and take your stuff and evacuate.
Yeah.
But then if you are trainer, you become stubborn.
Yeah.
Then maybe that's when they escalate the matter. But so far, I've never seen them do anything aggressive. They've been calm the whole time, and fortunately these Somali foreign-owned shops, they were complying with her demands and they were moving shop.
True.
So I hope that she can just get more people, or maybe she can inspire more people to move like her, and we can have all these operations happening all over the country.
Yeah.
And in the whole of Soweto.
Yeah. I mean, in the whole, in this whole situation, I'm really struggling with the words, to understand the words of Mr. Chilwane, and if you're watching right now, maybe you understand it more and you have a better way of breaking it down for us. Do make sure that you comment down below. We are share online on each and every social media platform. If you're on Facebook, do make sure that you comment down below. TikTok, comment down below, and YouTube, comment down below. So Chilwane said he was devastated by the death of 2 grade 1 boys from Gauteng Primary School and Karabo Primary School in Soweto. Mind you, it's grade 1 boys. We're looking at 7 to 6 year old, right? He called for the community to support the process and pleaded with parents to be extra vigilant about what their children consume. I'm just trying to understand, when you put it in a manner that we should understand, that how do you tell, a 7-year-old, to be extra vigilant with what they buy?
Dude.
It's kids,
kids.
They love sweets, they love snacks, but now it's where we are getting confused as community members and also as parents, to say, how do you become extra vigilant? Because you can't monitor what your child buys each and every time.
So I feel like, as concerned parents and concerned members of the community, the steps we can take, or the steps we've taken to ensure that our kids don't die from these snacks, is to close down the source of these snacks. Because now, if I'm going to give my kid money and say, be careful what you eat, it's a kid, 6 years. That's why they need guardians. That's why they need parents, father figures, mother figures, to be there to guide them. So maybe you find that the parent is off to work and now the kid has some pocket money. So obviously he's not going to wait for mom to come back from work. He wants the sweet right now. So he's used to, if I have money, I can go to the shop and get it myself. So now, because I don't even think that kids understand what is going on right now.
True.
That's why we still have more of them dying, because there's kids dying, but because they're not aware, they still go buy from the same foreign-owned shops, and they also become the victims of the products. So Mr. Chilwane, I don't know what he meant by telling the parents to ask the kids to be more vigilant.
Vigilant.
If he was a parent, or if he is, he would ensure that, you know, like Bati, it's better to prevent than to treat.
Yeah.
Right? So instead of us treating the kids from these poison, it's best if they don't get access to the poison.
Prevent.
So I still say, like, the shops must be closed.
True. Because he continues that to say that this incident serves as grave reminder to parents and guardians to exercise the utmost caution when it comes to the safety and well-being of our learners. You know, it is imperative that we remain vigilant and ensure that our children are not exposed to harmful substances. We will continue to work closely with law enforcement agencies to investigate this matter thoroughly. We wish to extend our sincerest condolences to the affected families, and we wish the two hospitalized learners a speedy recovery. You know, when it comes to solutions, I think it's something that they're not looking at because for them on spaza shops, I believe it's more, you know, money based because these shops are making money, you know, and there's some of the money that is coming back to the government and they benefit from it, you know. So if it was really something that is affecting people and it is affecting the state in general, we would see the shops being closed, you know, and being, you know, reintegrated very well into society, into what is it that they actually give to people.
You know, so, you know, I hate to make this a race thing, Mr. Mo.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like black lives don't matter as much, you know. That's why, like, I think maybe their feet have been dragged on this one. Had it been maybe someone, maybe like a white kid, had it been a white kid, maybe we would have had lawyers suing the state.
Yeah.
So now, because we don't have the resources, we can't sue the state, because this matter calls for people to sue the state. I mean, 30 kids, 30 lives lost, and nothing has been done about it.
Yeah.
They're still telling us about processes and policies whereby people are dying.
Aish.
So maybe we can die. It's fine as long as they get money.
As long as they get money.
But now, I think it's gonna come to a point whereby we are being referred to as lawless, and we have no order, and we are not civilized. We are barbaric, and we are xenophobic. Because now, if we try to go do things in the way or in the manner of the government, we lose. So for us to be safe and for us to be on the right side, we have to take matters into our own hand. And we should not in this matter, we should not mind being called all these names, as long as our kids will live to see another day, Mr. Mo.
Definitely, man. We are going to be seeing developing stories, you know, when it comes to food safety and what solution can be done, you know, amongst each and every, you know, spaza shops that they are based on the local communities around South Africa, especially, you know, the townships. So definitely we're going to be looking at what are the stories that are developing and coming back to you with more. So please do make sure that you stay with us and you comment down below on what you really think should be done, you know, to tackle the matter of spaza shop and prevent more children from going to hospitals and more children losing their lives. So right now we are going to our last, you know, headline, in which right now is the 3rd of December. And we know that a lot of people are preparing, you know, to enjoy the festive season, and a lot of people are actually preparing themselves, you know, to go out and to spend some of the money that they have worked hard for, you know, during this year. So the locals are urged to take a short left this year. It's December and it's time to head home or to the beach. But that's only for those who can afford it. Now Africans are being encouraged to travel and shop locally. They're also promoting the countries internationally to encourage travelers to visit. Tourism monitors have been deployed to assist in crime prevention. You know, this is from the SA Tourism with Tandiwe Matibela. So it is something that we are really looking at right now. As before, you know, we started to get deep into it. Do you think it is very advisable to travel locally or internationally?
As I said, Mr. Mo, like local travel is important.
Yeah.
Because yes, I know maybe people have their own preferences and whatnot.
Yeah.
But also we must not forget to support our own.
Yeah.
We must not. It's the same as we're gonna have people from other countries come and take up business in our own country, because we fail to support our own, because we quickly run to support others, whereby we neglect our own. So it should not be the same case even in this December. Yes, I'm sure maybe you want to go to the Maldives or your USA and whatnot, but have you been to Cape Town? Have you seen the Table Mountain? Have you stepped foot on the beach? So kasi flavor, man. Kasi flavor. So before sometimes maybe I'd get to America and I'd meet a citizen there, and he'd be like, hey, where are you from? I'm from South Africa. And then maybe tell me something interesting about your country. And I don't know, because I've never traveled.
But
so so it's a matter of knowing yourself. So but you have to explore each and every aspect of your life and your nation and your culture. We are a diverse country, man. There's a lot of things that we still have to explore. So if you've been in Johannesburg and you've been around Johannesburg, so now you need a change of scenery. You don't have to go all the way to no, man. You can drive here to Mpumalanga, you can go to Cape Town, you can go to Natal, you can go to Limpopo and see Madimole Mountain and hear stories,
I mean, it's interesting because the tourism sector and SA tourism working, with other campaigns, they have worked on, compiling, some few of the articles, that people can read about traveling, because they have seen that a lot of people, especially from township, and they know in the township that is where most money is generated. So they were actually talking to people from townships and speaking to them to how, traveling is cost effective, man. It's not as expensive as people think it is. Because one thing, someone from the township, when you tell them about, a trip to Durban, all they can think of is something more than 10,000 rand. But they came down and they have looked at some of the, tourist attraction, that cost less than 2,000 rand, less than 1,000 rand. So it is something that people should be looking out for. If you're watching right now, you can go to Google, search for SA Tourism, and you will see some of the website that you can visit to get some extra tips. And also for more traveling experiences, you can go to www.shotleft.co.za for more information about, the traveling destination that you want to visit, especially domestically, right here in South Africa. Our country is a very beautiful place.
It is.
It is a very beautiful place, and it needs to be explored as much. We can't be having a lot of people making content about our country, but we don't know about it. We should be the one who should, be promoting it in terms of tourism, because this speaks to a lot of content creators. Content creators should travel more and show their followers, on what this country, the beauty that lies in the country, so that their followers can also be influenced in, visiting these beautiful places.
And I think it can change our mentality on how we see each other. Because like as a people, sometimes like we look down on each other because we are so focused on the uglies. If we can also have a look at the beautiful sides of ourselves, then it can be easier for us to go and visit Natal. Imagine a petty person going, say, I'm going to KwaZulu Natal. It's something that would be shocking. But I mean, we need such things, Mr. Mo.
Yeah, so it's December, guys. So do make sure that you travel and you have a very beautiful festive season ahead of you. Be safe, enjoy, take care of yourself, and take care of your families. From me, Moketi Maimane, you were watching Mzansi Affairs with us. Do make sure that you keep those comments coming. You press the notification button so that whenever we drop, whenever we go live, you are going to be notified. And also keep in mind of the website where the articles will be dropped. If you want to visit the website, that is www.shareonline.co.za. It's www.shareonline.co.za. Mr. Tumza, last words, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Mr. Mo. Thank you, South Africa, for listening. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the engagement. Happy festive. Enjoy and be safe. See you again next year.
Definitely, man. We would love to say, stay safe, stay care. This was Mzansi Affairs for you. We will see you whenever we see you.
You know you want to join the Creative Corner every Tuesday, where we vibe with the coolest creators.
But nah, you are too busy catching up on Umkosi, celebrity news, and the headliners on the Trusted Talk Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
Embrace your feminine side with the ladies of Sisterhood Thursdays at 11 a.m. talking about everything women go through.
Join Amachita, Amahrotmane, the broskies of Sotra, fixing the country, one topic at a time. Thursdays at 2 p.m.
Get ready to spice up your sex life on the 8th hour every Thursday at 8 p.m. where we get down and dirty with the hottest topics. It's all things sex.
Start the weekend early with the feel-good vibes of Kasi Lifestyle Show Fridays at 2 p.m. Put on your dancing shoes, feel the music, and connect with the best artist Mzansi has to offer.
And if you're still not satisfied, you can learn a thing or two about living wild, young, and free with Ama 2K Saturdays at 11 a.m.
And for all you bookworms, relax your Saturday with On Writing at 2 p.m. where you can learn from the best writers and storytellers.
All this and more on Share Radio, the place to be.